Hello friends, today we are going to discuss another very important topic, which is risk management in software development. Apart from preparing for interview, this topic will also help you to identify the risks for your current and upcoming project and how to manage same. So join me in this interesting session of software risk management. You are watching iTechShare, a channel to connect, discuss and share. Software risks refers to the potential problems, challenges, or uncertainties that can arise during development, deployment, maintenance, or use of software applications. These risks can have various negative impacts on the project success, including cost overruns, delays, reduced functionality, and compromised security. Managing software risks is essential to ensure that a software project meets its objectives and is delivered successfully. Broadly, we can categorize it in three main sections like known knowns, known unknowns, and unknown unknowns. Known knowns risks in software development are those risks that you are fully aware of because they are well documented and understood. You can plan and mitigate these risks because you have a clear understanding of their nature and potential impact. It could be like technology compatibility. If you are building a web application, you know that different web browsers may render your application slightly differently. You can plan for these risks by implementing cross-browser testing and compatibility checks. It could be of resource constraint. You may have limited resources like time, budget, or personnel for your project. These constraints are known risks that you can plan by setting realistic project timelines, allocating resources efficiently, and prioritizing tasks. Known unknowns in software development refer to uncertainties that you are aware of but cannot fully define or predict with certainty. While you recognize these uncertainties, you can plan for them to some extent. For example, third-party API reliability. Let's say you know you will be using a third-party API, but you can't be certain how reliable it will be. You plan for potential downtime or rate limiting, or maybe user behavior. You know your software will be used by users, but you can predict exactly how they will interact with it. You may conduct user testing to gather more information around it. Unknown unknowns are the unpredictable and unexpected challenges that can arise during software development. These are the things you did not anticipate and could not have planned for. It could be like critical security vulnerabilities which can emerge that you had no prior knowledge of, and they can pose significant risks to your software. It could be legal or regulatory changes which can be enacted that affect your software. You may or may not have been aware of them during the initial planning stages. In software development, it's important to recognize that while you can control and plan for known knowns and known unknowns to some extent, you need to remain adaptable and have contingency plans in place of unknown unknowns. This is why agile development methodologies and continuous testing and improvements are widely used in industry to handle uncertainty and change effectively. Now, you may have some questions around mitigation and contingency plan. Don't worry, we'll be discussing same in this session too. Software risk management is a crucial process in software development aimed at identifying, assessing, mitigating, and monitoring risks associated with a software project. Effective risk management helps ensure that the project is completed on time, within budget, and with the desired level of quality. Here are the key steps involved in software risk management. Number 1 is the risk identification. This will start with brainstorming. To do that, gather project stakeholders, including developers, testers, and business analysts to identify potential risks. Encourage open and honest discussions about what could be go wrong. Number 2, risk assessment. Under risk assessment, risk prioritization need to be done by evaluating and prioritizing identified risks based on their potential impact and likelihood of occurrence. This can be done using techniques such as risk matrix or risk heat map. We can categorize risks depending upon the complexity into high, low, or medium category. Then, risk planning. Develop a risk management plan that outlines how risks will be managed throughout the project. This plan should include roles and responsibilities, risk mitigation and contingency strategies, and a communication plan. Establish contingency plans for high impact risks that cannot be entirely eliminated. What is risk mitigation plan? A risk mitigation plan is a structured strategy or set of action designed to reduce or minimize the potential negative impacts of risks on a project, organization, or specific initiative. For example, in financial world, it is always wise to invest in a diverse portfolio of assets to spread financial risks. Similarly, in software development, to mitigate the resource related risk, it's always best to ensure that an adequate number of skilled personnel is available to complete the project on time. We need to develop specific strategies to mitigate or reduce the impact of each identified risk. This can be broadly categorized in 4 steps like avoidance, mitigation, transfer, and acceptance. Risk avoidance. Avoid the risks altogether by choosing not to engage in activities or processes that may expose the organization to it. Example, if there is a significant security risk associated with a particular technology, avoid using that technology in your project. Mitigation. Implement measures to reduce the likelihood or impact of a risk. Example, regularly update software and conduct security patches to reduce the risk of cybersecurity threats. Transfer. Transfer the risk to another party, often through contracts, insurance, or outsourcing. Example, when you are using any third-party component, better sign some contract with your vendor who is the owner of that third party. Acceptance. Acknowledge that the risks exist but choose not to take any action to mitigate it. This strategy is suitable when the cost of mitigation is more than the potential harm. Example, accepting a minor project delay due to uncontrollable external factors rather than implementing costly mitigation measures. Now, let's discuss what is contingency plan. Contingency plan is a proactive strategy developed by organizations to prepare for any future risk and respond to unexpected events or risks that could potentially disrupt their operation or projects. It is designed to ensure that software projects can navigate unexpected challenges or issues that may arise during the project lifecycle. These risks can vary widely and may include technical, operational, financial, or organizational challenges. A software risk contingency plan aims to minimize the impact of such risks on the project success. Generally speaking, risk mitigation is about taking preventive measures to reduce the risk impact or likelihood before it occurs, while contingency planning is about preparing for and responding to the risk event once it has happened or is about to happen. After all this, let's come to the final step, that is risk monitoring and control. Continuously monitor identified risks and their status throughout the project lifecycle is one of the essential points, and we have to make sure that we are doing that. Ensure that the mitigation measures are being implemented as planned. Communicate risk information to stakeholders so that everyone is aware of potential issues and their status. So these all steps that we have discussed today are part of risk management strategies. And be it interview or for your project risk management, this will be immensely useful for you. So guys, in this session we have discussed all about software risks and how we can mitigate it, or you can come up with your contingency plan. We have discussed about all these strategies in very detail, and I hope that this will be immensely useful for you for your upcoming interview or even in your upcoming project. That's all for now. I hope you have enjoyed this session too, and I'll be coming up with our next session very soon. Thanks for your time and patience. Happy learning.